Yo, the Bears beat the Packers, baby. What's going on? Yeah, we got a couple of special guests coming in here tonight. We're just waiting on them to come in here, man. We're waiting on Alan. We see we got some comments in here right now. We got Marshawn in here. What's up, Marshawn? We got Craig. We got Shannon. Shannon said, as far as I'm concerned, we won in Super Bowl. Let's go, man. But we got a special guest, and when I hit this intro right here, we're going to bring him right in. So give me 1 second. Yo, what's up, everybody? This is G Walker, one half of the CNG podcast.
And I'm CJ, the other half of the CNG podcast.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? We have our special guest from Twitter, nobody other than Andy from NFL Outdated is in the building. Bears beat the Packers. Bears beat the Packers. How you feeling, Andy?
I'm feeling good. Still have a little bit of heart palpitations, but hey, we got our winning streak and right inside of Lambeau, which is Caleb's crib now.
Yeah, hold on. I gotta let you get your socials, man. So, Andy, before we really get into it, tell everybody where they can find you at on Twitter, man.
Absolutely. Find me on NFL Outdated on Twitter X. You can find me on NFL Outdated on YouTube. We Wednesday night we have our Freezing 4 NFC North podcast. Definitely have a great crew there. You guys have come on and enjoy talking. But 9:30 CST on Wednesdays every week. Now we got something good to talk about. Thanks again for having me on.
And no problem. And the guests just keep showing up. Ladies and gentlemen, hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. We got somebody else in here. Hold on. Aaron, are you in here, Aaron? Yeah, I can't see Aaron. Aaron, where's your video, Aaron? We got the Bears in Australia. We got an Australian Bears fan in here with us tonight. You come back in, Aaron. Come back in. All right, let me know if the music is too loud or if it's good enough. Somebody's camera or their microphone is giving me feedback right now. So with that being said, let's kick it off. Oh, man. That's been a long time waiting, right, Andy? That was a long time waiting.
Long time waiting. I guess it had to happen that way, so.
Man, so give me your feelings, give me your thoughts about this game, man. It looked like Tyreek Stevenson. Go ahead, you got the floor, man. Your first time, you guest the honor, man. Please tell how you felt about this game right now.
Yeah, I mean, obviously excited to win over the Packers. Packer fans are going to say it didn't matter, all of this stuff. They had their backups, but hey, a win is a win. We'll take this. Caleb Williams needed this. I think the Bears needed this going into the offseason. I'm heading to the draft in Green Bay, so I wanted this. Obviously there's a lot that needs to be fixed and will be with the new coaching staff, but at least Caleb Williams and some of the players have this taste of what it feels like to beat the Packers, but not only that, beat them in Lambeau. I'll take it.
And ladies and gentlemen, and a great comment, but ladies and gentlemen, we got our guy, Aaron, from Dare Being News Australia. We have an Australian Bears fan in here tonight with the show. Let's go, Aaron, man. We're glad to have you here, man, because I know it's super duper early in the morning over there in Australia, man. So tell the people what time it is where you at, Aaron. You have a little mic.
It's about 7:30 in the morning here. got up to watch.
You see, he having a little bit of technical difficulties, and we're gonna have to come back and get him and bring him back. So that's our news. Our Australia Bears fan right there. He's part of the CNG podcast. He's a good guy, man. He's a Bears fan, so we wanted to bring him on. And so right now, I don't know what happened to CJ, but CJ's not in here right now. So we're gonna get back to this game. Alan, how you feeling, bro? How you feeling, big dog?
Hey man, I'm feeling good, man. You see, I was sending you stuff in the chat, man. I was about to go crazy when DJ fumbled the football, but I was like, you know what? The defense is playing great football, and I just felt like we were gonna win that football game. I felt like we just controlled the game like we did the first game. Like we controlled the game, like we got the formula to beat them. We just had to finish the game. So today we finished. Got off the snide, and now we can just kind of move forward for next year.
Yeah, man, that was a game I wanted to see us play a whole game. Like we scored early. We got a fumble. We got a rushing touchdown in the first half. We did a lot of things in the first half that we wasn't accustomed to doing the whole first half, right, Andy?
Yeah, and you look at it too. I mean, obviously. The Packer fans were talking about holding and all this and that, and so it was weird to see Packer fans kind of on their heels. But I mean, we didn't have a lot of offense, but we did control that game.
Yeah, I think because we got destroyed on. I think they almost had like 400 some total yards offense. I think we had maybe almost a little bit over 250. So, in your thoughts, what was the reason why we won this game today? Like because we was getting destroyed off when it came to offensive output according to the total yards.
I think it was Caleb. He just kind of at the end willed us to win, right? I mean, even DJ making that critical fumble and just I think it was Caleb having that dog in him and just saying, hey, we're gonna win this. We just need one drive to get down there, and I think it's Caleb. Obviously he had some of his mistakes holding on the ball too long, things like that, but I think just his will to win, and that showed me that there's a lot to look forward to as a Bears fan. Obviously, it's season hasn't happened the way we wanted to, but I love where we're at with Caleb.
Yeah, so CJ, man, welcome to the show, big dog. This is the CNG podcast. This is the other half of CNG podcast. CJ right here. That's what the C stands for. That's the C. So, C, how you feeling right now about this game, bro? What do you think? Because you called for a win too yesterday on the pregame show.
No, I called for a loss.
Oh, I called a win.
It was funny because my mom was like, "Mom, you said the Bears gonna lose every game. You have to win."
Yeah. Aaron, can you hear me? Aaron, you good right now? Aaron having a little bit of trouble over there.
Hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, man. What's your thoughts on the game today?
Man, doing wrong in that game, and especially that last 2 minutes, I thought we were like.
Yeah, kind of freezing up again. So if anybody's in here, Andy, CJ, make sure you guys are retweeting this on X or mention. I don't know how it really works all the way, so make sure you guys retweet this so our guys like Aaron, you know what I mean? He can get some followers and everything like that. So we got Aaron in here. So if anybody's in here right now, please follow the Bears News Australia. The guy's a big-time Bears fan. He's a fan from down under, so make sure you follow him. And if you don't know who this guy is right now, man, Andy of NFL Outdated, man, one of the best Twitter Bear podcasters on X right now. Please give him a follow, give him a like, give him a subscribe, man. Please, 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 please. But back to the fuck the Packers. Fuck the Packers, man. The streak is over, Andy. The streak is over. That's all I got to say. I came in, I was in a pregame show. I said, you know what? I think we should take a loss. I think we should look out for the draft capital. And Alan was like, man, screw the draft capital, man. We should come out there and win because everybody's not going to be on this team next year. I did not think I was going to feel this good about this win tonight right now. I did not think I was going to be excited. I didn't think I would care. But the Bear fan in me right now is pumped up. Caleb Williams in the fourth quarter was magic all over again, man. So the fact that Caleb Williams, this is like his 5th game-winning drive of the season, and this is probably the first one that we came out on top, Andy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, for us to actually hold on to it, I mean, it seemed like it was gonna happen the other way again, and just when I saw they had under a minute, and I said, this is Caleb's time, and I think, you know, to have this under his belt and just to see him, you know, navigate down the field and just execute it like perfectly, I love that for him. I love that for our team. I love that for our fan base too. I think you muted yourself, G. Walker.
Thank you. We got Craig right here saying F the Packers. Absolutely, fuck the Packers. We got Craig said they got to play Philly now. Yeah, good job, Bears. We got Marshawn said we finally beat the Packers. Made my day, bro. That made my week. Channing said, as far as I'm concerned, this is the Super Bowl. We won the Super Bowl. Green Bay about to get that ass whooped in the playoffs. How about that comeback by Troy? Troy, what's up, man? How about that comeback? Last time I checked, it was 23-19. What are the Commanders against in the playoff? I don't know. We got Audrey right here saying, what's going on, CNG? Podcast, holla back. What? Have a nice day. Have going out. What did Allen do? Hold on. We're going to get to Keenan Allen right now. We're going to get to Keenan Allen right now, bro.
Get him out of here.
Hey, Andy, take off, man. Go. I got to get my handset. Y'all go ahead. I'll be right back. Go ahead, Andy.
Get him out of here. Just with, you know, you see that pass, that interception, like he just doesn't want to be here. And I'm done with Allen. I don't know about you guys. He's talented, but he's a cancer in that locker room. I think he's bad for Rome Odunze. I just, you know, it's definitely not what I thought it was going to be. And I'm ready for Keenan Allen to be gone. I want Rome to have Caleb and some other receivers that are better leaders. This guy needs to be out of here.
Well, I would like to add, I'm going to say this about Keenan Allen. I wouldn't say he was a cancer. I think he worked well with Caleb through the year. I think towards the end, when the playoff was out of reach, I think he became a little nonchalant. Like that interception today, after he threw the interception, he put his hands in his warmers. Like, how do you put your hands in your pocket during live football? Like, those are the things I would say that's not just him. That's a whole lot of dudes on that football team. So I wouldn't stop there at Keenan saying he's the lightning rod in the locker room. I would say Jalen, Cole, it's a whole lot of dudes I can name for that. But I would say that he's not going to come back. I don't think it's a chance in hell he comes back. But I would say going forward, we need to focus on bringing in guys who are hungry. Guys are trying to get their second contract. No more guys over 30 that's already got their money. We need to get away from them guys and get guys that's hungry trying to get their second contract.
Y'all go ahead. Go ahead, CJ. How you feel about Keenan Allen?
I mean, you seem a little good, a little bad from Keenan Allen today. You know, he threw it himself. Like, what the hell? The throw was just bad. So I didn't understand that play that the Bears ran.
Yeah, I just think that Keenan Allen, you know, he's too much of an inconsistent player to depend on at this point in time in his career right now. Like, he's not the guy that we need to depend on. You know what I mean? We need to see guys that is going to come through in the clutch. Like, DJ Moore actually came through in the clutch today. But Keenan Allen with that stupid interception, why didn't he just throw the ball away? Why did you throw the ball away, bro? Like, make it make sense. Like, it doesn't make any sense for you. You're not a quarterback, bro. You threw it right to the guy. So the Bears got lucky, man. The Bears got super lucky, man. And we actually got Chicago Clarence in here right now. So, Aaron, we're gonna take you out for a few minutes, man, and I'm gonna bring in Chicago Clarence. So just stand back and stand in the backstage of the show, bro. Ladies and gentlemen, there you go. And if you've never worked with this man right here, this is one of the most passionate Bear fans in the whole fan base. Ladies and gentlemen, we got Chicago Clarence at the Bears Den podcast is in the building. What's going on, Chicago? How you feeling?
Fellas, how y'all doing? How's it cooking?
Man, we cooking right now, bro. We got over 101 people in here right now, man. The fan base is hyped right now. So, hey, man, we appreciate it. So go ahead and speak your thoughts on the game, bro, because we got a lot to get into, man.
Well, first win since 2018, and we almost gave the doggone game away. But at the end of the day, the one thing that pumps me up the most is if you've got any doubts that we finally got us a quarterback, today should have erased it, because that man took us down the field, put us in position to win that football game, and Cairo Santos did his job. So you talking about an 11-game win streak snapped against the Green Bay Packers. It's our most bitter and heated rivalry. We've been going at it with this team since 1921, and in all that time, they have beaten us 106 times. We finally broke that mold, got that win, and now I think we're on our way. We got a lot of work to do before we start kicking it off again, but nice way to end the season, beating the Green Bay Packers.
Man, I love it. We get it in. So, Alan, man, your thoughts on Caleb Williams, man, because he didn't fall. He got banged up a little bit. I think he hurt his hand or something like that. I was thinking he was going to come out of the game, but the kid is tough, man. His nickname is Tough Juice. So what do you got to say about, not only did he play this whole game, he played all 18 games or 17 games this year for the first time a Bears quarterback has done that since 2009. So, Alan, what are your thoughts about our future quarterback, our future franchise QB, man?
Well, I'm going to say this. I've been saying it all year. He is the toughest guy on our football team, and TJ Edwards is another guy. Them the guys that I don't never question. When they go out on the football field, they give me everything. They leave it on the field every week. Yeah, he makes mistakes. He does that, but that comes along with the position. But he's a leader, and he's going to be the focus of the team going on for the next 15 years, I hope. So we found our quarterback, like Chicago Clarence said. I don't think it's any doubt that we found our quarterback.
Man, I don't think there's any doubt either, man. So, CJ, man, your thoughts on Caleb Williams this season after 68 sacks, almost 70 sacks, offensive coordinator fired, head coach fired, guys not catching the ball, field goals getting blocked, you know what I mean, drop passes. So what's your thoughts on Caleb Williams just being that steady Eddie type of franchise quarterback I think we got?
Hey, there's a reason why the Bears dropped him number one. He showed up today. Since the Bears down the field, got a touchdown. He's a tough kid, man.
So, Andy, so we still on Caleb right now. What was your most impressive thing about Caleb Williams? I saw that again, no interceptions, man. So what was the most impressive thing about Caleb Williams today that you think you saw?
I think overall just kind of getting hit, and just getting, the crap knocked out of him and just continue to come at it, right? And I think that's kind of, looking back, and I love Justin Fields and everything like that, but I think Justin Fields kind of let all those hits kind of go to his head, right? And I think Caleb just didn't. He just kept staying in it and giving us a chance to make plays down the field. And I love that with him, just his escapability. Obviously, a lot of times he does hold on to the ball a little bit too long, but he just keeps the play alive. And what Justin Fields would do, he would keep the play alive with his feet and then look to run. I love what Caleb does. He's always keeping his eyes downfield. So we have that, like he is looking to make that play downfield, not just his legs, but now he's able also to extend the play with his legs as well. So I think we're starting to see a rookie who is becoming a complete quarterback. There's a lot he can do in the offseason, especially now with a new offensive coordinator, new system, all of that stuff. But I just love his toughness, and I love him always keeping the play alive. And that's what you want at a quarterback, who's going to keep fighting. Obviously went back and forth with Keenan Allen, and it's hard to see Keenan Allen really wanting to, have that fight in him. And as bad as the season's been for the 18th game or the 18th week of the season, and Caleb Williams continue to be fighting, I love that.
Yeah. So Chicago Clarence, I think Kirby Joseph getting to him a little bit today, the quarterback coach. Then I saw Thomas Brown kind of getting to him a little bit today. And I think that was kind of helping. So what do you think those guys were saying to Caleb Williams in those moments when they got on him a little bit? What do you think they were saying, man?
I can tell you what they should have been saying. They should have been saying, my bad, with the stupid play calling that was going on out there. We running a halfback option with a wide receiver. I mean, what are you doing? What in the God's name do you think Keenan Allen is going to threaten the defense with the ball in his hand and he's running a screen? Nobody is worried about him running the ball. If it's anything, you should have had DJ Moore in that position. At least he can threaten the defense with his legs. Keenan Allen is not doing it. And then for good measure, you had already tried it one time and Keenan Allen throws the interception. You get down in the red zone and you call the same play again. Mind-boggling. So they should have been telling him, I apologize because I'm calling stupid plays. I'm calling wide receiver quick screens with press coverage going on. I'm sitting there like, what in the world? What are we doing? So for him to battle up, and I was listening to another show on the way home so I can get on this show. Caleb Williams has had to rise above mediocrity and stupidity for 17 games. I mean, everybody just needs to stop and look at what this man has had to deal with this whole season. I mean, because we can all agree that the Chicago Bears were a poorly coached football team. For the first time in franchise history, we're going to fire 2 coaches in an offseason. We already don't fire Eberflus. We're going to fire Thomas Brown and everybody else coming tomorrow. They're all getting a pink slip. So no other team has to go through this nonsense. You are not asking no other starting quarterback to go through this. It's going to be a total rebuild. He's going to have to learn a total new offense, new concepts. You're going to have a new offensive line next year. So not just anybody can go through this. We already tried it with Mitchell Trubisky, didn't work. We tried it with Justin Fields, didn't work. On and on again. Finally, to have a guy shine and not turn the ball over the way other people has turned the ball over, rising above mediocrity and stupidity and incompetence every single week. Kudos to this man.
Yeah, man, and I don't think that is anybody else. I don't know if there's a rookie quarterback, Allen, that could have dealt with the circumstances that Caleb Williams had to deal with, man. Like you said, fire the head coach, fire the offensive coordinator. They've been to fire everybody else. Thomas Brown comes in, he gets the last 5 games of the season, Allen, and he gets 1 game against the Packers, man. But Caleb Williams is the bright spot, bro. He is the bright spot. So with that being said, Allen, if you're Caleb Williams, if you have anything to say to the upper management, whether it's Ryan Poles or it's Kevin Warren, what are you saying to them about this is what I want for a coaching staff? This is who I want to coach me.
Well, this is gonna be a loaded answer. First, I want to address Chicago Clarence. Bro, if you watch that game and watch the end of the game and see how those players rallied around Thomas Brown and that coaching staff, those guys love them. Now, it might not be the wins and losses, but they at least respect those guys and the work they put in. The things Hightower was doing today with the special teams, them guys put in a lot of work and manpower hours. Now, granted, they were up against the clock for 5 games. We asked them to move an aircraft carrier in midstream. I don't think that's fair for us to call them incompetent. I'm not going to do that. I feel like, yeah, they could call bad plays, this, that, and the third, but I'm not going to do that because Thomas Brown, if they were that bad, them players wouldn't have been rallying around them coaches at the end of the game. They were happy everybody was happy for this moment. Like, he went in there as an interim coach, something 3 coaches couldn't do in the past 10 years almost, or whatever. He went into Green Bay and got a win. Like, that's something to me. And I'm pretty sure it's something to somebody upstairs. Now, I ain't saying he's going to get the head coach, but I wouldn't be so quick to get rid of Thomas Brown. He's widely respected across the league. Now, when I go into like Caleb talking about management, I wouldn't so much focus on Caleb talking to management at this moment because he's so young and he's got to kind of decompress from this season. If I was management, I would want him to, I would want him to get away from the locker room. I want him to decompress. We'll get with him once the end of the season, after the Super Bowl, we'll start reconvening. That young man has been through a lot, like y'all expressed. I mean, I don't think no rookie quarterback has performed the way he done under this scrutiny. But I'm not worried about the quarterback. I know he's going to have his influence on the next head coach, but I just don't want to throw the guys that's working hard as coaches under the bus because they were thrown into a cooker the last 5 games. Some of them guys, like the offensive line coach, he should definitely walked out of there with evil flu.
Yeah,
but Thomas Brown has held this. Yeah, he got to get the hell out of there. But Brown has stood tall. I listen to that young man talk after every game, man, and he expresses himself to the media like a grown man, and he handles it so professional. Like, he is a well-renowned young coach. I don't want to just throw him away. I would hope that he will be on the coaching staff next year, maybe not the head coach, but he can keep that offense going. The one thing I liked about them talking and chirping with Caleb Williams today is Caleb, when that play with DJ, Caleb did not want to run that play. That's why it took so long to get to the line of scrimmage, because they went a press man coverage. So he didn't want to run that play, but the coach was like, run the play. Like, you run the play. That was accountability to me. They were man enough to run up on Caleb and talk to him. Yeah, it might have been the wrong play, but you still have, you gotta respect the coach, man. That's accountability. I'm running up, you are my quarterback, so you got to do as I coach you to do. If it blows up, I'll take that to the locker room, not you. So that was a professional moment right there. Caleb was quiet, didn't talk back, which I knew he wouldn't do because he's a high character kid. But you got to look at those little small things that he has the ear of Caleb. Caleb respected what he said, whatever he said to him, he respected it, knowing he probably was on camera for us to see, and he handled it like a professional. So I'm going to just say Caleb is going, he's going to be our guy, but I think we're good at that point, but we're going to have to let Ryan Poles do that job because he the one to put us in his mess. So
I was saying,
that's just my take.
Isn't it sad as far as our history with coaches that the passing game coordinator brought in has been the adult in the room and actually sounds like a head coach more than any of the past coaches since Lovie Smith. It's ridiculous that it's taken this long to actually get someone in there who actually, is able to express himself on the microphone. Now, it kind of stinks, just how it's played out the last few games, but I love Thomas Brown as well.
All right, cool. Great takes by Alan and great takes by Andy, but we got the other Andy, the other half of the Bears Den podcast. This is one of my other guys, man. I love working with these guys. These are my dogs, man. So, Andy, man, you got the floor, man. Take your time. Give everybody your thoughts, your comments about the game today, man. We finally beat the Packers, man, almost 11 years, and we got a win today. So, did you care about the win, or were you more concerned about the draft position that we could potentially lose? How do you feel?
I personally always want to beat the Packers. Any chance I get, I want to beat Green Bay. I know what the narrative's going to be. Green Bay is going to say, well, we didn't play Jordan Love. We didn't play Josh Jacobs. We didn't do this. We didn't do that. We're in the playoffs. You're not. But I'm glad we won. I'm glad we wiped the slate clean for next year. We get this losing streak off our back. We get the stench of losing at Lambeau off our back. The stench of losing to Green Bay off our back. I mean, I know it's going to be a hollow win because they didn't play their starters, but a win is a win, and hopefully we'll start to right this ship. That's all I hope. It just starts to right this ship somewhat. So, yeah, I'd rather go for a win any day against Green Bay.
All right, let me get a couple of comments in. We got Carlos. What up, Carlos? We got Chicago Clarence right there. I'm gonna get him off your face in a second, bro. He's saying bear down. We got Marshawn saying preach. I think he was talking to Allen. And we got Carlos again saying Thomas Brown is up and coming. So with that being said, let's move on to one of the players today that was kind of getting on my nerves today, but he actually had a good game. Man. DJ Moore. Now he's been a man. Listen, he's been a thorn in my side for the most of this season, bro. His attitude, his sassy comments, his smug face. He don't always run his routes. He does a lot of things in the game and off the field that irritate the hell out of you, man. So CJ, DJ Moore almost had it, and he almost lost the game. Then he was part of the reason why we won the game. So what are your thoughts on DJ Moore today and overall the season, man? Because this was the last game. So what's your thoughts on DJ Moore? Then I'll go around to Chicago Clarence next.
I mean, today he finally showed up. I mean, he had a couple of mistakes, a couple of fumbles, but he showed up today, man. He ran his rock hard. He looked like he was into the game. He wasn't moping and pounding on the sideline. So, big shout out to DJ Moore for the way he played today. Minus
right.
minus the fumble.
Yeah, so Chicago Clarence, well said, CJ. So how do you feel about DJ Moore, man? Because you don't know what you're going to get from him game in and game out, man. He's not overly tall. He's not a big wide receiver to where you could just throw it up there to him. So you have to get what you can with him, it seems like. But what are your thoughts on DJ Moore this season and today's game?
Well, we paid DJ Moore a lot of money. We're extending him to be our number one guy, and for the whole season, he has not performed that way. I don't care what nobody say. When you have a guy out there making the kind of money that he's making, for him to quit on routes because he's frustrated with how the game is going on, that's not what you're supposed to be doing, no matter what's happening on the field. You have always got to do your job. Players are paid to play. Coaches are paid to coach. And overall, this team has been a colossal failure, and he's one of the reasons why. You cannot get frustrated with the coaches and go in and talk to reporters and then don't let your talks back up your play. And when you're quitting on routes and throwing and running out, there are 2 games where he went off the field with the play still alive. That's inexcusable. He almost cost this game. And not just him, but the play call itself was idiotic. It's press coverage. Caleb Williams should have gotten out of that play. And if he's being told by the coaches that he can't audible, you can't handcuff your quarterback that way. You can't do it because it was a bad play. It was press coverage. You call a wide receiver quick screen, it's never going to work. I personally don't even think it was a fumble. I think it should have been reviewed because he never had the ball. But nonetheless, it was called a fumble, and it almost cost us the game. Now, you fast forwarded to him making the play that put us in field goal range. That's what you were paid to do. That's what we need our guys to do. Make plays. He came up with the play that set us up for field goal range, for the field goal. Cairo Sanchez went out there and did his thing. But overall, if I had to give him a grade overall this year, it would be a D.
Man. Yeah, and I agree with you, man. He hasn't been available the way that I thought he would be available all season, especially when his number's called upon to be so. It's like he's not a number 1 receiver to me. And I've been saying that for almost 2 years. I don't think he's a number 1 wide receiver. So, Andy, NFL outdated. Do you think DJ Moore is good as he's going to be, or do you think he's the type of player that needs the right scheme? Or is this just who he is? Can he be better in a different scheme, or is this just who he is? And then I'm going to go to Allen.
Yeah, I think he'd definitely be better, in different schemes. And I think I heard, doesn't he have the most receptions in his career this year? I think that was up there. So
he had 95 catches. Yep. Yeah,
so he has that ability, and I think that's the problem when you don't have an offensive coordinator that has a scheme to be able to properly open up your playmakers, and that you see that with Green Bay, and they were able to, Josh Jacobs wasn't in there, but they were running some of these plays right up the middle, and they were able to do that, and that's what a professional offensive coordinator does on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, and now I don't like how he does kind of get down with the circumstance, and maybe that's kind of just the way it has to be. You got Caleb, who I think is going to be able to, as they grow together, is going to be able to kind of settle him down a little bit. But that has been frustrating just to kind of see him outwardly get so frustrated with all the plays and everything. But I think the talent is there, and I just he's able to make something happen, and just when he gets the ball, he he just able to weave in and out of tackles, and so I love all that ability. It's just I think it's going to be good. You get like Keenan Allen out of there. I think Keenan Allen, some of these other players that were me first, I think you get them out of there. I think that'll help. I mean, you saw that even when we were losing big to the Patriots, and Rome Odunze had that celebration, right? And I think that's a lot of Keenan Allen and some of these other players, and I think DJ Moore, another offseason, I think that's going to be helpful. But you have to get someone who's going to scheme him. He's able to make things happen no matter what. But if you're not going to even throw it to him, if you're going to avoid it to him, that's going to be a huge issue. I mean, he's one of our best players on offense. Find out ways to get it to him.
And I love it. And we got a couple of comments. I'm going to go to Alan with the same thing about DJ Moore. So, Alan, you saw DJ Moore today, and we saw him all season, Alan. And you know what I mean? When I'm looking for a team that should be going to the playoffs, even if everything was going right, to me personally, I didn't see DJ Moore be the number one wide receiver at all. Like, even if everything was going right, and I don't know if he would have been playing at the level I was expecting him to play at as far as being the number one wide receiver. So, Alan, man, what do you think could fix DJ Moore, if anything, for next season? What do you think that'll help him out more for him to be more productive? Because he has his career high in catches, but those are catches. But some of those are like layups. Like, I don't want people to get overrated about catches. Like, catches are cool, just like rebounds. Like, every rebound don't count in basketball, and every catch don't count in football. Because I've seen Keenan Allen smoke him on route running. I mean, destroy him. So let's not get overrated about catches. But what's your thoughts on DJ Moore this season and going forward, man?
Well, I'm going to say this about DJ. DJ is one of those guys in life that wear his emotions on his sleeve. So what you see is what you're going to get, as far as his emotional output. On the field, he has his issues with quitting on plays. And I think early in the year, that was with Shane Waldron. I think after Waldron got fired, it kind of tapered down a little bit, because Waldron concepts was taking DJ Moore 15 yards downfield. DJ Moore works better underneath the zone. So hopefully, if I was coaching them, or if I had a recommendation, put DJ Moore on third down inside the slot, like Keenan Allen was. Put DJ in that particular position, where in case if you need an extra boost to attack the middle of the field, DJ, that's his game. DJ Moore is not a guy that's going to beat guys on street plays. That's more Rome's job, to beat guys on one-on-ones down the field. So hopefully we'll bring in a guy that's a pure route runner. Maybe you can go in the draft and get a guy in the 4th or 5th round to complement them. We don't need to put no more money into no wide receiver. DJ makes enough, and DJ, with the right concepts and the right position placement, he will be an all-pro slot receiver. I believe that, because he done it at Carolina. So that's where he really should be slotted at, inside the hash, inside the formation. He shouldn't be at the top of the formation. That is for Rome Odunze. Rome takes the top off the defense. Put some Tyler Scott in there. Throw him in there. He did good today. But DJ Moore, I don't want to get rid of him for the sole fact that he's a good player. We are not in a position to give our good players away. So we got to get a coach in there that's going to maintain his emotion, put him in the right slots, and that will probably keep him at bay. I just feel like sometimes he was misused. Thomas Brown couldn't implement his style of play like Sean McVay's system, because Waldron believed in different concepts. So we still kind of running Waldron's concept, because that's what we did in the summer. So we didn't really blow up the offense the last 5 weeks. So I'm just going to go ahead and say, man, we got to keep DJ. I think if you get like a Ben Johnson, he'll expose DJ Moore into a whole different player, man. Keeping him in the slot, working on the third best corner, on an occasional safety. That's where I want DJ Moore at, on those guys.
Right. Yeah, and we were going to get into this, man, because it's the end of the season. We're starting to head into our off-season topics, head coach, offensive coordinator. And in this list right here, Andy, and I'm going to go to CJ. Like me personally, I don't know if I want Ben Johnson. The Chicago Bears are a mess. Like, I don't know if you bring an inexperienced person into a situation like this to where you have to grow everything. I don't think you have enough years under his belt. You need an older guy, someone stable. You know what I mean? He wants $15 million. He wants his own GM. He's trying to push Ryan Poles out of the GM role and all this other stuff. So I don't know if he's the guy. He's not bringing that offensive line with him from Detroit. He's not bringing that playbook. That's Dan Campbell's playbook. So on this list right here, Andy, man, what are you thinking about as far as a head coach? And CJ, I'm gonna ask you next. What is your head coach you want him to be? If anybody on this list at all, who do you like?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Ben Johnson is the hot name, right? And on our podcast, we got Seventh Letter, the Lions guy, who's always talking about Ben Johnson. And a lot of times he's talking about him, how he gets a little bit too cute on his play calling. So, I mean, that could be an issue. Yes, it needs to be kind of an overhaul. But hey, I like a guy who is going to say, "This is what I'm worth. This is what I want." And I think that's what we need, in a leader. We don't need someone who's a leader of men, all of that. That's a total Bear thing to do. Okay, Mike Vrabel, no thanks. What happened to Mike Vrabel when his, offensive coordinator left, right? So get out of here with that. So Ben Johnson, I think Joe Brady's interesting. He's kind of obviously an offensive guy as well, and he's kind of shot up, the interest level here. I do like that because, hey, it brings that excitement and just those. When you have a quarterback like Caleb Williams, who he's so smart with everything, and you have an offensive guru who's going to be able to kind of bounce ideas off, that's what I want in the offseason. We for those of us who watched the Hard Knocks, I mean, it was just so theatrical and forced with him and Eberflus, those sessions. I mean, get out of here. Eberflus doesn't know anything about that. That's not his thing, and so those two are great names. I love what you put on here. I would go, I don't know much about Liam Cohen, but Arthur Smith would be an interesting one. He has that experience, right? And I think with what he was able to do with a lot of different players, I think that would be an interesting take as well. So Ben Johnson, Joe Brady, Arthur Smith, I think those are the ones that I want. I'm a little hesitant on Cliff Kingsbury, but whatever it is, I think it has to be an offensive guy. I mean, some of these other names, right? I mean, are okay, but I think it has to be an offensive guy.
Man, I love it. We're gonna go to the other Andy off this list, man. It's getting ready to be the off season, man. I think this is going to be, and I think Alan said it's going to be a 30-day turnaround of us to pick the next coach. I think it's going to be fast too. So on this list, man, if there's anybody not on this list, you can mention. So who do you think, or who was your perfect fit for a head coach for the Chicago Bears going forward? But I don't think it's Thomas Brown, even though they say they're going to give him an interview. Like, what are we doing? Rooney Rule?
I mean, this is really a hard question to answer. It really, truly is.
Do your best, man. Do your best.
I mean, Ben Johnson, I'm like so many other guys. He's definitely smart. He's definitely got a great offense. But that offensive line is not going to come with him. Dan Campbell's not going to come with him. Those playmakers are not going to come with him. And can he get the right staff in place for this whole team to succeed? He's never done that. He's never hired a staff. Either is Joe Brady. And Thomas Brown, I don't know if we would hire him, if he would get the clean house and start over. Same with Aaron Glenn. I mean, these are all first name coaches on this list, which is what we've been doing over and over and over and over and over again, except for Belichick, who's obviously been hired by North Carolina. I actually like Kingsbury the best. Number 8. He's got coaching experience. His offense is running really well in Washington. I mean, give him a defensive coordinator. I like to see what he could do. A real defensive coordinator, because we know his offense will succeed. Because it's succeeding big time in Washington. I mean, I'm not against any of these names. I just want the right guy who will succeed and put these guys in position to win. That's all I want. If it's Ben Johnson, right, so be it. If it's Brady, so be it. I just want a coach that will put this team in position to win games. That's all I want.
I love it. Chicago, Clarence. So what do you see from this list, man? And what are your thoughts? I want to get your thoughts about, man, we went on an hour. I don't like to go over an hour, but y'all giving so much information right now. But Chicago, Clarence, man, what are your thoughts? Or who do you want as a coach? What's your preference? I know we all going to say we just want to get a guy in there, but what do you want to see scheme-wise? Is it the offensive coach or defensive coach that knows both sides of the ball? Because I heard Vrabel, he knows both sides of the ball. He's coached tight ends before. So what's your thought, Chicago?
When you look at where the Bears are right now, and we're on our third quarterback in the last decade. At this time and point to where the money that we have invested in this team, the draft picks that we got coming up, the money that we're going to have for free agency, we need a guy who's already done it. There's nothing about Ben Johnson that tells you that he knows how to hire the right staff and to run this football team as a whole. We've already tried getting the coordinator that could run one side of the ball. And Eberflus was a good defensive coordinator. You could say what you want to say about him, but he was a good defensive coordinator. But on Sundays, he showed you that he was not up to the task to be a head coach. Ben Johnson may give us that same issue. He may be a fantastic offensive coordinator, but as you know, the head coach runs the whole show. We need a guy that's already done it. Now, my pick before all of this even started is down there in Chapel Hill right now, and that's Belichick. You can't go wrong with a guy with the Super Bowl rings and the mentality of running it the Patriots way. Because some of the things that went wrong with the Chicago Bears, a la Stevenson running up the sideline during the play, does not happen when you got a head coach that knows what's going on and has got his culture in place. For me, my money, if I'm making a decision, I'm bringing in John Gruden. A guy who's run a good offense, who knows how to run offense, a guy who has won a Super Bowl. He can develop your quarterback, and the discipline and the no nonsense is going to be there. He's not going to tolerate some of the things that has plagued the Bears. We have got to get a guy in there that knows how to run the program from Sunday to Sunday. That's been our problem. The last guy we have had to do that was Lovie Smith. He had his faults, but from Sunday to Sunday, that football team, the culture was instilled in the team, and people knew what they're supposed to do. We have failed trying to get somebody in there to run the team from Sunday to Sunday ever since we let Lovie go. We have got to get a guy in there that has been able to prove that he can run the whole team, not just one side of the ball. We need somebody that's going to go in there and change the culture. We need people that's going to hold people accountable. For me, that's John Gruden.
So what's up? We got comments coming in, and hold on, Andy. I see the comments over your face. You know, we got the comments. But I'm gonna come into the. I'm gonna go back to the NFL outdated in a second. We got Marshawn saying, "Don't bring back Allen, let him go. Save money, draft another receiver." I agree. I don't think he's consistent enough to be, especially want money. No, honestly, I want Ben Johnson or Liam Cohen. And we got Craig saying, "I like Ben Johnson." Craig also said, "I like Gruden also." And then we got Isabella. Shout out to Isabella, man. She's actually one of the people that subscribe to our Facebook page. We appreciate you subscribing too. Shout out to you, Isabella. She said, "Ain't John Gruden a racist though?" He's something. I don't know what's going on with John Gruden. I forgot it was an email or something back in the day that he did. And I don't know. CJ, what are your thoughts on John Gruden, man? Because he seems to be a firecracker, kind of loose with his mouth. You know what I mean? He seems to be, I don't know if that's the Chicago Bears organization, flavor of the year, so to speak. You know what I mean, CJ?
Yeah, I mean, John Gruden's the head coach, but he got a lot of mouth. I don't know if that mouth is going to agree with the Bears. I don't know because John's personality with the Bears. I could definitely see heads crashing with Gruden. So I don't know.
All right, we actually got
He's definitely a hell of a coach, man. I feel like John Gruden as a coach.
All right. Actually, we got our guy Aaron is actually in here right now from Australia. He's the Bears fan from down under. Aaron is in the building. It looked like he got his camera right, his audio right. So, Aaron, man, we're going to run through it real quick, man. Give us your thoughts on the game today about Caleb Williams or anything in the game about Keenan Allen throwing an interception, DJ Moore. Just give us what your thoughts on the game today was, man.
Yeah. I mean, it was a crazy game. I think that, with the Keenan Allen stuff, with those passes and whatever else. Yeah, I don't think the Bears have really earned the right to get that cute. That was some weird play. I mean, Caleb did what he does in the fourth quarter, and he plays his heart out and got us in a position to sort of to have a go and eventually win the game. But I thought after that fumble, I thought that was it. I thought Green Bay would hold the ball and we wouldn't get that stop. So but just a topsy-turvy game, and to have 1 point in it for so long was just it was testament to the defense today. I thought they really stood up in the drives when they had to. They got those stops, got turnovers. So yeah, mate, it was a good game. Good game.
All right, and I love what you said. It was a good game. We're gonna keep it moving right here. But I saw Andy and NFL outdated. I saw soon as Chicago Clarence said John Gruden, he was like, no. What's the deal with John Gruden, man? What don't you like? Because it's clearly something you don't like. So go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, if we're gonna go with John Gruden, we might as well do Rex Ryan, right? I think both of them are blowhards. They like to hear themselves talk. I think John Gruden is a used car salesman. He's just slippery guy. He'll tell you that he has organizational control, but he didn't. You look back at his record, all of the things you can kind of look back. He just didn't. And I think he likes to hear himself talk, and he's good on TV and all those things, but he just doesn't have it overall. I mean, it's similar to Rex Ryan, right? They want to be the stars. I don't want our head coach to be a star. I want him to be the, in the lab, right? Offensive lab, doing the work, not out there, having to make all these public appearances. And I think you're going to get that with John Gruden. You're going to get that with Rex Ryan. And these guys, how long has it been since they've been head coaches, right? They've been out of the game. They're not innovators. It's been a while. Give me someone who is currently in the game, who has been working with players, who has relationships with some of these other coaching staff members. And I think if you bring Ben Johnson, and I talking to NFL Outdated, talking to Seventh Letter on my podcast, the Lions Guy, he talks about some of the assistants on the Lions. If Ben Johnson able to take some of those guys that's under him, I think that's going to be helpful overall for the Bears. But John Gruden, Rex Ryan, these guys don't have. I mean, obviously they're talking to these people, but they don't have the current relationships with all these other assistant coaches to develop relationships and bring the right people to Chicago. The John Gruden, it would make sense with everything that we've done in this organization, like John Fox, bringing in the other guy from the CFL. It's just it's been one mishap after another. Pick the hot guy. Right now. Don't get cute with this. Find the right person. Do it right. Don't try to piecemeal like we keep doing. It just find the right guy that's going to be long term. Not this guy that's I don't know, been 10 years. I don't know how long it's been since John Gruden's been here, but I don't like him. I don't like his substance. There's no substance there. He left it all in his email.
What do you say when people say Sean Payton was out of the NFL for a while? He wasn't an NFL while he's turning around the Denver Broncos and Bo Nix for the people that's saying, what about that situation? Like, even though Gruden hasn't been in and Rex Ryan, but Sean Payton is back with the Denver Broncos and damn near got them in the playoffs. So you can't undervalue experience, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But I'm not disagreeing with you. I don't know if John Gruden's the coach I want for the Chicago Bears. But I don't disagree with you. But there is a narrative out there that just because you lead the NFL, that doesn't mean that you can't come back in and an experience that you do have can come back and help a team win. And John Gruden is probably one of those coaches. But at the same time, he's a firecracker, man. He's the jack in the box. So it's not necessarily something that you just want to go wholeheartedly and buy into, because once he comes into a situation, he eclipses everything. Like you're saying, he becomes a star, he becomes a show, and it's not about the players that's being developed, so to speak, which I don't know that's necessarily true, but I can see what you're saying as far as just him being the face, which I don't mind if he's been the face, because in the background, my quarterback's developing. In the background, Dexter's developing. And in the background, DJ Moore's developing. I'd rather have a coach like that with a big voice than I have my quarterback up there talking all the time, so you can get the media off of them and then you just focus on what the head coach is saying. So he does have value in that aspect. So But do I want him necessarily as my head coach? I don't think so, man. I really don't. I don't know if.
But he's got a ring. He's got a
Go
ring, G. And the thing that really concerns me. Do you guys know who one of the finalists for the Bears was when they hired Eberflus? It was Jim Caldwell. He was actually one of the final finalists for that head coaching job. Now, how pissed off would you have been if Jim Caldwell would have ended up getting that job? So the reason why I say this, you know, Rex Ryan, yes, Rex Ryan is a blowhard, but Rex Ryan is going to bring discipline and accountability to that team. But Gruden has a ring. He's done it. He has won the big game. Rex Ryan has not. And the instant that John Gruden were to come into that building, Caleb Williams would be the most talented quarterback he had ever had throughout his whole coaching career. You put somebody who knows how to run an offense, who knows how to attack defenses, who knows how to draw up credible plays, who knows how to call a game. Because that's one of the reasons why we have issues on Sundays. We had 57 yards of total offense at halftime. That's disgraceful. That doesn't happen if you put a guy out there that knows how to call plays, that knows how to move people around and attack defenses at their most weakest point. That's the reason why I say John Gruden. Yeah, Ben Johnson may be able to do that, but once again, we don't know if Ben Johnson knows how to run the whole entire show. We know Gruden does.
Yeah. Well, say anybody got anything else? Final thoughts on that, Aaron, CJ, on the whole coaching thing before we get to the last part of this, which is probably going to be the draft situation. Anybody got anything about Keenan Allen, Caleb Williams, anything? Well, if you guys are thinking, let me pull up some comments. So, if you guys are thinking of something, then I could just read these comments while y'all think. We got Isabella saying John Gruden won a Super Bowl off a team that somebody else built, which was Tony Dungy, and then literally couldn't maintain that level of excellence. Tampa Bay fell apart shortly after that. That is true. I remember that.
Who's the quarterback?
Isabella says, I will say that Pete Carroll took a Seahawks organization that was always garbage, and it was never, ever good, and turned into a perennial contender like they are always in the playoffs. That is very, very true. That is very, very true. I got to get out of here, guys, but there's another reason under the belt with my guys. Also, fuck Green Bay. Oh, yeah, it's definitely fuck Green Bay, bro. Like, I don't care what nobody says. Like I said, I didn't think I was going to care about that game at all today, man. Like, I was just like, man, whatever. But I was actually pumped up that we won that game today, man. It was a good feeling, man. Against the Packers on the road in Lambeau, and we broke the streak. I thought I was totally going to be like, yeah, whatever. But I was hyped, man. My daughter was hyped. Then we got Isabella saying again, wait a minute, dude. Gruden had the cannon. What Caleb has not proved that he's Gannon Cannon level yet. Go ahead, Chicago. What you got to say about that, or anything that you said about Pete Carroll? You know what I'm saying? John Gruden taking over a team that he didn't necessarily build. So, what's your thoughts on that, Chicago?
The one thing that always really sticks in my craw is when somebody says what somebody took over as a team. You still got to coach them. You still got to do it. You know, he won that Super Bowl with Brad Johnson as his quarterback. Now, we can all agree that there was no sustainability with Brad Johnson. And Rich Grannon, at very best, is a backup quarterback. He ain't a star. Caleb Williams is a young star in the making. He needs guidance. Coaching matters. If you don't believe me, take a look up there at Minnesota and see what's been happening with Sam Darnold. Coaching matters. If you don't believe me, go down there to the Chargers and look what Jim Harbaugh did. Jim Harbaugh turned a team that's got less talent across the board than the Chicago Bears. They're going to the playoffs. Coaching matters, but you also got to have a signal caller. And if you bring Gruden in here and you pair him with what we got on offense, and you give him a competent offensive line, and it's up to him to hire the defensive coordinator. There are guys out there that can do the job. Robert Saleh comes to mind most of all for me. But you put him with that and you give him that stuff, the Chicago Bears could be in the playoffs.
Yeah,
I mean, we were 4-2 when we went to. We were 4-2 when we went to our bye, guys. We were 4-2. Now, anybody on here, I dare you to tell me that if we had competent coaching, we wouldn't have made the playoffs this year. That's why the reason why we're sitting there at 5-12. Coaching.
Yes. Anybody got anything else on that? Then we can just keep it going to the draft portion on the show, and that'll be the final part of the show. Appreciate you, everybody showing up, man. Like, this has been incredible. Man, we got the guys are in here, man. We got NFL Outdated Andy, man. We got the Bears News Australia in here, man. Our Australian fan, man, the Chicago Bears fan in here today. This is incredible, man. Then we got the Bears Den podcast with Andy, the other Andy, and Chicago Clarence right now, man. So what you guys are seeing right now is history in the making, man. This is the community that me and CJ are trying to build every year, and we just want to have the best podcasters and the best fans coming to the platform when they can. So we've been working with Chicago Clarence and Andy all season. Andy from NFL Updated, I hit him up on Twitter, man. He's been nothing but a big brother to me. And CJ, he's really been looking out for us, man. So this has been a bunch of love right now, man. So shout out to you guys, and please follow and subscribe to these guys' pages. Go to Facebook if you're on Facebook and follow the Bears Den podcast on YouTube, Facebook, X. Then go to the Bears News Australia and follow our guy Aaron, man. He comes with information, he comes with jokes. Follow him as well on X, on Twitter, or YouTube, or whatever. And then follow NFL, follow Andy, man. Follow this guy, man. These guys know their stuff. But let's get into the last portion of the show, and this is going to be all season, man. Talking about the draft. CJ, I don't know if this changed or not as far as our draft position or the draft order, but what do you think about us, and what are we going to do at number 9 or 8 if it changes? What's your thoughts about the draft, man? What are we doing?
I hope the Bears get a stock. Consider somebody. And that's all I pretty much say.
Okay. All right. Andy, NFL Outdated. We look like we might have a 9th pick. You probably could jump the highest to 7. Who knows? I don't know if the Raiders won or they lost or however it goes. But if you are Ryan Poles, somehow he's still the GM of this team. He's still here. What are you doing with the pick that we're going to get, man? Well, are we trading it up, or are you just going to get the best player available? What you doing with that pick, man?
You got to get offensive line. Absolutely have to do that. You don't want to force it, right? But I think there's some good talent in there. I think the guy at Alabama, I think, is good. I mean, you have to do offensive line. I mean, it's just the glaring need that we have all around. I mean, yes, we can probably look at signing some, but you need to get younger and better on that offensive line. You just have to get that top-level talent.
Yeah, I agree. So Chicago, go ahead, Andy. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I don't know if I want us trading up, right? I mean, unless it's, just a stud offensive lineman, I don't want us giving up more draft capital because we need to keep getting, top-level talent. And I think we can get it there at 9. But, yeah, I don't want us giving up more draft capital to trade up.
Man, I love it. So, Aaron, what are you doing with this pick, man? Are we trading it up, man? What is your gut instinct? Are we taking the best player available, offensive line, or you want to trade it back and see if you can get a high second and a late fourth? What are you trying to do with this pick, Aaron? Sorry.
I mean, ideally, I think if the best player available is an offensive lineman, you've got to that'd be the ideal scenario, right? But yeah, I'm still definitely on the offensive lineman thing. So even if you've got someone like Abdul Carter sitting there at our pick, I mean, I know he's a talent, but I think we definitely need to address that, like you guys are saying, that top end O-line talent. If we can nab some of that in the draft, we haven't really been able to do that since, and then we can complement it with some free agency talent. I think that first pick has to go towards the offensive line.
And I agree. I think I'm just taking the best available. I want to be greedy, but I don't know. Chicago Clarence, man, help me clear my mind, man. What am I doing with this pick at 9, bro? I listen to the OGs, man. So what we doing?
Well, I don't want to be one of those ones that say, we want to take the best player available. That person has to fit our needs. We need to attack that offensive line, and we need to attack it with a ferocity. We got to have minimum 3 new starters on that line. Plain and simple. Mm-hmm. We need, Braxton Jones is not a left tackle to me. He's a swing tackle. We got to get a left tackle. And if today didn't show you, we need a center. We got to have a center. playing, and then we need an edge rusher, and we need a three technique defensive tackle in there as well. So we got to attack both sides of the ball. We got the picks to do it, and then also in free agency, we was talking about this while we were watching the game. Ronnie Stanley is going to be a free agent this year. He's going to be 30 years old, and Baltimore ain't going to be able to pay him. We need to go get him. You put Ronnie Stanley on that line, it significantly upgrades us. And now we don't have to worry about Caleb Williams' blindside being attacked. And then you could turn around and go out there and make moves. We were talking about Myles Garrett. Maybe Cleveland is in a rebuild. Whoever we see them draft is going to tell us a lot of what they're thinking, but they got some high-priced players on that team, and they may be thinking about a rebuild. We put Myles Garrett on that defensive line. Now we're talking some stuff.
Yeah, so Andy of the Bears Den podcast, man. So Chicago Clarence laid it out there. But what are you? I saw you grabbing, and I know you got your notes down there. So go ahead and give it to us. What you got, big dog?
At number 9, I agree with all. I would be open to going defensive line if Abdul Carter or Mason Graham fell from Michigan. I think Mason Graham, Dexter, and Billings, that would be a nasty rotation at defensive tackle. I could get on board with that. I can get on board with going Abdul Carter, but they also would go for Banks or Campbell on the offensive line. Any one of those 4 that fall to me at 9, I'd be all in on. But I mean, out of our first 3 picks, we got 2 in the second round. I think 2 need to go to the offensive line and 1 needs to go to the defensive line.
Preach.
Yes, I don't think we should do anything else but offensive line and defensive line in this draft. I mean, we got to rebuild that. I would argue we need 4 offensive linemen. The only one I would keep is Wright. He's the only one I would keep. Jenkins goes. Yeah. Braxton Jones needs to go to the bench. Shelton, I might resign as my backup center. And Pryor, I might resign as my first guard off the bench. But other than that, these guys need to go. I cannot go into this season and get my quarterback killed again. Can't do it. Somebody needs to file charges with the police department. This offensive line performs like this next year. So that is assault and battery, what happened this year.
Yeah, I agree. I'm all in on that with the offensive hall change. But we got a Packer troll in here right now, man. Hold on. Where did this comment go? And I'm going to let Andy for NFL Outdated tackle it first. You beat a team missing 4 offensive starters and 3 defensive starters. Congrats. What time do you play in next week? Y'all act like y'all won a playoff game. Wait, having won one in 15 seasons. Bro, nobody in here acting like we won a playoff game, but go ahead and give it to him in Outdated, man. Go ahead and talk to this bum, man, because he constantly talks stuff on our page, man. Tell him.
Hey, I love this. Hey, bring it, Thomas. When you are only celebrating championships and call yourself Title Town and haven't celebrated one since, I don't know, like iPhone whatever, 1 or -1 or whatever, hey, you haven't been celebrating either. So I get it. You're salty. I've done that too. I respect it. But hey, Bears won, and we're 1-0 in 2025, and Packers. Hey, you're going to go have 1 extra game than us. Congrats. And you're going to lose to Philly. So congrats. And then we'll see you in Green Bay for the draft as well.
CJ, what you got to say to Thomas, bro? He be on our page talking cash shit all the time. What do you got to say about, because look, y'all ass going home, Thomas. Eagles going to put something on y'all, bro. It's over with. But go ahead, CJ. Talk to this bum.
Yo, Thomas, why Green Bay didn't run Josh Jacobs enough today? Answer that question. If he's the guy on offense, how come Green Bay didn't run him enough? I didn't see Josh Jacobs in the second half for nothing.
Yeah, Chicago Clarence, get his fool some trash talk, bro. Go ahead and kill him, bro, because he talk a lot of stuff, man, and they acting like they beat somebody. I did have their wins in here. They beat the Saints. They beat the Cardinals. You guys ain't beat nobody. Every time the Packers play somebody this year, the Lions or the Vikings or anybody like that, they lost. Man, but talk to this fool, though, for Chicago for me, please.
if I was Thomas, I would send Eberflus some kind of gift from Amazon.com and be thanking him, because if it wasn't for Eberflus and his stupidity down the stretch of that game, they would have been 0-2 against us this year. Caleb Williams would have been 2-0. We had you down. We had you beat when you had your whole team in there, and then you smartly started benching players because we was giving your quarterbacks work today. You guys thought that you were just going to be able to suit anybody up, come in there and beat us down, and we showed you we wasn't having that today. And like I said before, thank Eberflus for not going forward on third down and getting more yardage so we can have a closer field goal attempt. And thank the idiots on the left side who allowed you to come up there and block it, because you were staring 0-2 against a Bear team that had only won 5 games this year. So stop it. Your time in playoffs are going to be short-lived. Be glad that you're going to actually make it, but sooner or later you're going to be sitting on the couch right next to us.
You heard him, Aaron. Get his trolls some good stuff, Aaron. Talk to this bum one time, man. Then we're gonna end it out with Andy from Darren Ben Podcast.
Yeah, definitely. With what you guys are saying, just gonna get absolutely pumped by the Eagles next week. Probably not even worth turning up. Have fun watching that game.
Right. Hey, we got people talking on the comments. Say, hey, Thomas, think of this. If you don't block the punt of Chicago, y'all would have been winners in the division. But hey, yeah, they would have been all in the division. They would have been 0-6 in the division. And we got Shannon saying, hey, Fapper backer, Eagles gonna beat y'all asses. Yeah, I can see it coming, man. And then we got Shotboard Podcast saying, take the best trenches player at the current spot. Might have to go defense. It's gonna be interesting to see what we do with this pick, man. And we're gonna be here all off season, man. You know, when I can get the guys together, Andy and NFL Outdated, man. You know, we'll get together, man, and we'll try to see what's going on, man. And he'll hit me up and however it works. But with that being said, man, we're gonna get up out of here, man. So the guest to honor, man, please tell people where they can find you at, big dog. NFL Outdated.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can find me on Twitter X, NFL Outdated, on YouTube, NFL Outdated, and Wednesdays 9:30 CST. And you can find me on Twitter, engaging in a lot of Packer trolling. I love doing that. So, and Packer fans are easy to rile up. I love it.
You heard him. So then we're gonna go right here. The Bears News Australia, man. Tell the people where they can find you at, bro.
Yep, on just basically on Twitter at the moment. Just going on to Facebook. But yeah, just a massive Bears fan from Australia, and wanting to get involved in the community and you know, chat with whoever wants to have a chat.
I love it. And we're gonna end it out with Andy from the Bears Den Podcast. My dog, man, my big bros in here now. I got all my big bros in here. Andy, Chicago Clarence, and Andy for NFL Outdated. We got our big bros in here. But Andy, tell them where they can find you at, bro.
You can find myself and Chicago Clarence, the Bears Den Podcast, at Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram.
That's it, man. And look, and if Thomas, you in here, I got two things. I got one thing I want to say to you. Hold on. One, fuck the Packers, bro. 2, Bears win. And the last thing before we go out of here, I'm G Walker of the CNG Podcast.
I'm CJ, the CNG Podcast, the other half of the CNG Podcast.
The C of the CNG Podcast. And you see that sign. Fuck the Packers, man. See y'all guys next week. Not you guys, but they have to be on the couch next to us when they lose to Philly. So we out of here, man. God bless you guys. Peace.